As I said at the end of the prior video, the Super 17 arc is the worst in GT, and fairly terrible in general, with how many plot holes are made to even allow it to happen, such as Trunks recognizing who 17 is from his key, you know, that Finn Jin's on Ningen don't use. Gero and Mew being able to make a new artificial human 17 in Hell where supplies don't even seem numerous. Or a Goku far stronger than Gotenks, not simply screaming through dimensions to escape hell as he did with the Room of Spirit and Time. Even with all the problems it has though, there are still a few positives worth noting, such as Vegeta showing full acknowledgement of his Earthling lifestyle even more than before. The way in which villains are brought back is also an improvement on how they were treated in Fusion Reborn, with the dimensional opening and the damages they did at least having some repercussions in the next arc, rather than being padding or pure comic relief. I'm not a fan of the thought that the secondary Dragon Team characters should be given a lot of time dedicated to them essentially getting a pity victory against throwaways who add nothing to the plot or their character arc. But this is essentially the minor trophy victory for them some want, with it not meandering on the idea long enough to detract from the plot. Though it would be better to maybe allow the likes of Yamcha or Ten Shinhan to have gotten some shine, rather than only being cameos in GT. There is one thing done excellently in this arc of GT though, and that is the handling of Artificial Human 18, with her being given more relevance and dramatic story beats than one would imagine, with how her character had been handled beforehand. Though only amounting to a nitpick at best, 18's lack of a significant role in the Majin Buu arc could be seen as a level of missed potential. We saw in her introduction that she finds fighting to at least be fairly fun, as well as both her physiology and feats making her someone who could remain a competitor to the Saiyans. Comparing her to the other female characters many fans also wish to have been active fighters, she has more reason for pursuing Shugyo than Chi-Chi, and has the starting power to actually compete with the best of the group if she wanted, unlike Fidel. Sure, the events of the Cell arc and her marriage to Kuririn did make putting aside a violent lifestyle make sense for her character, as does her characterization in the Buu arc, but so would her finding a positive outlet for her interests in developing Shugyo mindset. Instead, her role amounts to a tournament battle against Goten and Trunks, and her not even getting the 20 million Zeni from Satan, with only the minor implication of some Shugyo in her having learnt the Kienzan. What really makes this a missed opportunity is that, unlike with the other wife characters that bounce off their husbands' personalities, Kuririn's character had gained catharsis in settling down with a family, and not given more for 18 to have a proactive role prevented their dynamic from expanding past the early stages of the arc. Even more importantly, her role as one programmed to kill Goku provides missed potential with the complexity that could come from this amounting to her not really interacting with him beyond one insult. This is where her role in the Super 17 arc comes into play, with the return of her brother 17 and him ending her husband's life. When having never seen him since the Cell arc in this continuity, or seeming aware of his revival, her reunion with him involving attempted mind control, antithetical to their individualism they had both displayed in rebellion to Gero's ideals, and the death of the man who allowed her to change her life for the better, at the hands of the one other man she cared for, is certainly a lot for a character to take in. With the mind control that made 17 do this, and his attempt to do the same on her, it also allows 17's action to reflect how 18 could be if Gero had succeeded in controlling her. We also see the payoff of her fighting back in doing better against 17 than Trunks did, and implying she kept up some Shugyo to fulfill her potential power, as implied from some anime segments of her sparring with Kuririn. The excellence of her utilization comes in the arc's climax, where she both reasons with the conscious 17 still inside Super 17, enough for him to turn on Mew, and provide the distraction necessary to exploit his weakness, for Goku to land a fatal blow, being arguably the most important factor in Super 17's defeat, which is completely unexpected for someone retired from intense battles. Along with her role combining both emotional appeal and battle tactics to show the versatility she can bring to the right story, her working with Goku is a great payoff to remove any lingering animosity between them, as she becomes comfortable around Goku, and successfully avenging both her husband's death and her brother's manipulation at Mew and Gero's hands. It's quite surprising and appreciated that GT took a minor part of missed potential, as with 18's character arc, to turn it into something meaningful. Or maybe it speaks to the low bar of the Super 17 arc that this is the best thing it accomplished. For the final part on GT character analyses, things come full circle with the series on Dragon Ball arcs, as focus delves heavier into the Budo Taoist ideas and philosophy the series is founded upon.